and jump in. My name is Jeff Glover with Glover U, and I'm super excited for another winter webinar series. I'm actually back in the old studio today, and you can see why Greg is our marketing social media master, because he's in a beautiful looking background there. And this is like, I'm going back to circa 2019 here, back when we recorded all those videos during COVID. Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. By the way, if you're on a Glover webinar for the first time, I want to see you in the chat. If we got any first timers, put first timers in the chat, and also the city, state, and or your province. And also, while we're doing that, whether you're a second, fifth, 500th, whatever, put your city and state or city and province in there anyways, because I want to see where you're joining us from this beautiful Friday morning. And so we're super excited. There we go. I love that. Pennsylvania in the house, Nashville, Texas. All right. New York, Baltimore. We got a lot of friends out in Baltimore, Boston, Asheville. All right. Youngstown. Hey, I was just in Youngstown last week, or I don't know, I guess Monday. Seems so long ago. Minneapolis. There you go, Greg. You were just there yesterday. Gaylord, Michigan. I snowmobile in Gaylord, Michigan. Thank you for joining us from Gaylord, Michigan. All right. You see also in the chat the workbook. Now, download that workbook. Specifically, click on the Marketing Mastery one. It says Greg Erlanger. You may have gotten the link to all of them, and that's fine because you're going to need them for future sessions. But get your hands on that workbook. Why? Because there's a lot of free resources in there, and there's a couple things in that workbook we're going to reference. All right. So, get that thing printed out, send it to the printer right now. So that way you have it for today's session. Lexington in the house. All right. Lexington, beautiful time. Michael, thanks for joining us from Novi. All right. Farmington Hills, Sandy Raiden. Good to see you. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and jump into today's topic. And before we do, there's just a couple quick things I want to point out to you, especially for my first timers. In your workbook there, you'll see, I have mine in front of me here. I believe it's on page 1, 2, 3. It's on page 3. You're going to see a list of free resources. All right. I want you to take advantage of all of those resources. Of course, I think today we probably give more away than we do actually charge for things, and that's okay. But there's a couple free resources that have kind of changed the way we administer them. So first things first, especially for my first timers, if you're not currently receiving the daily message, that's our number one resource right now. I think we have over 20,000 agents on that from all over the US and Canada. It's totally free. I'm writing notes every single morning on things that can help you succeed in real estate, things that are going to help you take more listings or get more buyer offers accepted. If you're not currently receiving it, because we used to send it out in a text message. If you're not currently receiving it, I'm going to show you how to get your hands on the daily message and all of our free resources. Take out your cell phones right now and open up your app store. Take out your cell phone and open up your app store. All right. And when you get to your app store, okay, I'm going to go to mine just so I can do this along with you. Of course, I have an Android, so mine's in Google Play. Don't make fun. All right. Open up your app store and you're going to search Glover, Glover, space the letter U. Okay. Glover, space the letter U. And it's going to come up. You're going to click install. It's going to ask you your first name, your email address. You're going to want to have your notifications on. Why? Because I send out a daily message every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday, designed to either inspire. Sometimes it's, I went on an appointment last night. Here's an objection I got. Here's how I handled it. Other times, like right now, we're talking about how to get to 20 contacts a day and where those contacts could come from. So this week I've been, each week I kind of have a different theme for the daily message. Anyways, it's totally free, and all of the free resources that you see in the workbook there, when you use that link, you see they just dropped it in the chat 5 times. Can't miss it. Use that link to get your hands on the workbook. Send that to the printer, and in the meantime, get your hands on the Glover U app, because every single resource that we offer for free is in there. All right? That's number one. That's the first thing I wanted to share with you this morning. Number two, all right, number two, I'm being told, are one of our more popular resources today, and it fits perfectly with today's session, is our social media guide. All right. So just go ahead and write down gloveru.com/social. GLOVER, the letter U.com/social. It's free. It's like 8 to 10 pages of all sorts of stuff that you can do to help yourself succeed as it relates with social media. All right. Our social media calendars in there, the rules of social media, the demographics of each platform, all of that. It's a pretty cool guide, and it fits this topic very well. That's gloverview.com/social. By the way, when you're making comments today in the chat, make sure you're changing your setting to everyone. Right now, I think it defaults to hosts and panelists. And so we're getting a lot of message. Thank you guys for messaging us. But if you want everyone to see your message, which we encourage, because you're going to be doing plenty of these webinars, I'm sure. There's a reason why we pick these in December. We want to keep you engaged. We want to keep you motivated. We want to keep you moving forward in December. So make sure you change it to everyone before you type a message. And if we don't have, I'll throw the .com of the free social media guide. Alabama, thanks for joining us, Tori. Okay. We're going to jump into today's topic, and this is a fun one because we absolutely have who we have coined the phrase, I guess you will, as the marketing master based on his efforts and the results that he has had personally in his business and also with his team, and that is Mr. Greg Erlanger. And so Greg is always on the cutting edge, the latest and greatest of what's working, what the trends are, what agents should be doing, what he's doing, what his agents are doing. If you're not familiar, Greg runs the #1 home selling team in the state of Ohio, and he co-leads that with another gentleman, and they run a real successful business. And of course, he's our marketing mastery coach. So let's go ahead and jump in, Greg. I'm going to pass over the baton to you. Let's talk marketing. Let's talk social media.
I love it, Jeff. Thank you so much. Yeah. Honored and thankful that everybody jumped on today. I know that you guys have 100 places you could be right now, but you're here and you're growing yourself. And social media, I always told Jeff, I was like, if I'm going to teach and train, I want to do the sexy stuff and I want to do something I'm passionate about. And what I've found over the years, I've been a realtor since 2004. Myself, Mike Zinicola, have the #1 team in the state of Ohio for 8 years in a row, both in units and volume. That's not a yay for me or anything, but you're sitting there right now in judgment. I know you are. And you're in judgment saying, why should I listen to this guy? Like, who is this guy? So I do believe sharing your resume is what you do to any employer. And you guys have employed me for the next, 2 hours, 3 hours? What do I have here?
That's right.
So,
yeah.
You've employed me to hopefully educate and train you on some new tactics and techniques to help you get more listings utilizing social media and marketing. My strategy as Jeff and I came together is I guess our core of our businesses are built on 2 different type of foundations, prospecting and marketing. And there's 3 ways that realtors can grow their business. There's personality-based sales, there's marketing-based sales, and there is prospecting-based sales. Now, great empire builders will stay engaged with a company, I don't know, like Glover U, and learn all 3 of those, master all 3 of those, and dominate their market. In general, people are going to have a natural tendency to lean into one of these more than the other. And my team is generally based off of a marketing concept, creating marketing funnels, creating a brand awareness, unique value proposition, and communicating in such a way that business comes to us as opposed to chasing it, calling it, hitting the phones and that. Now, obviously you want to have a hybrid of that, but in general, our core foundation is off marketing. So, just wanted to see if Jeff wanted to interject or anything.
No, yeah. No, I know I always have something to say, right? Well, listen, I think that's why we work so well together, because I started with the prospecting-based business. And, I tell this story a lot from the stage. I didn't spend a single dime on advertising until our GCI hit over $1 million. It was like $1.1 million before I spent a dime on advertising. And I know a lot of what you're going to cover today doesn't necessarily take a lot of money. It just is going to take you some time. And so I look at it like this, and you put it perfectly. You're either going to spend time prospecting and cold calling and getting doors slammed in your face. You're going to spend time creating content that gets engagement and that gets leads. The best of the best have actually figured out a way to do both. And so obviously one of the ways that Greg and I work so well together is he is on the latter side of that. He is the creating content and being creative in the video and the social media. So that way you don't have to pound the phones day in and day out. And, I'm still going to teach that. We're still going to promote that. And it's still going to be part of the business plan. But wouldn't it be nice if you could supplement it with this side of the game, if you could supplement it with video and social media? So let's go ahead and jump in, Greg.
Okay, perfect. And how much time do I have? Because if you guys know me, some of you do, some of you don't. I tend to talk just a little bit, especially when I hype myself up.
You're good. Yeah. So you have until 11:15 Eastern time.
All right, 11:15. So there's a ton of content. And what I like to do, and some of you guys have seen me before, but I'm seeing a ton of first timers on here. So bear with me if you've kind of seen the foundational and the progression that I go
Yeah,
through.
we gotta warm everyone up again, anyways.
Yeah, so we're gonna start with the foundational process of utilizing marketing as the driver. Whether you're a personality based realtor or a prospecting based realtor, in both instances, marketing is imperative. Any company in America has a marketing department. You have to have a marketing department. People have to find you. I said yesterday in Minnesota, it's if people can't find you, they can't purchase your services. If you walk into a store and you're not on the shelf, they cannot purchase your product. It's not there. So if they go online, which is exactly where everyone is going right now to make buying and definitely listing decisions, and that's again what we're talking about today, is how do we get more listings? These folks are going online and they're looking for a service provider. And if you're not there, if they can't find you readily, easily on multiple platforms, if they can't funnel to your phone number, to your DM message box, to you, you will not be selected to list that home. You'll be surprised. You'll be wondering how some of these young gun new agents coming out of nowhere are starting to take listings in your neighborhood. How is that happening? It's because they're being found online and you're not there. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Whether you're prospecting, you pick up the phone and call somebody, what's the first thing they're going to do? Hey, this is Jeff Glover and da 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 da. As you're talking, they're typing in Jeff Glover's name to see what comes up on the internet. They want to know, are you real? Are you safe? I mean, there's so many scams going on. You're a random phone call. So prospecting, marketing is imperative. Personality based. And what I learned and what our team learned in COVID is the personality based realtors. Let me define that a little bit. You're the realtor that without prospecting or marketing, you just get business. You do open houses, they come, they love you, your friends love you, you're gregarious, or you don't have to be like a high I or a gregarious outgoing person. I mean, you can be valid in multiple ways, but people are just attracted to your knowledge, your business acumen, you're just fun and they feel safe with you. You're just that person. That's a personality-based salesperson. And many, many realtors can survive on that, but they can't thrive on that. Bless you.
Thank you.
They can't thrive on that. So what happened? They can't double their business. So a personality-based realtor, the reason they can, or the reason there's a lid to their success, is because they're only as good as the one person that's standing in front of them that they can engage. Or maybe there's an open house and 10 people come through. But if you take that personality and you start to do video and you start to utilize social media, infinite number of people can now find your personality. They can find who you are. They can engage you very easily. We live in the greatest time humanly possible to be a realtor. When I started in 2004, I mean, you had to pay $150 to get 2 sentences that you had to somehow take the entire description of a house, make it 2 sentences by making acronyms and chopping down full words into 3 letters, hoping that the consumer will understand what in the world you're saying there. Yeah. And it would cost $150 and you'd have 10 listings. And so now you're in thousands of dollars. We have the opportunity to do full-blown video. We have all these apps that will allow you to create really high quality content and express your
I remember CTR space TPS. CTR space TPS. Anybody know what that? Anyone remember what that was? Countertops.
Oh, yeah.
GRNT space CTR space TPS. Granite countertops.
Yes. That now we're at the point where we can literally show it. We can even do short form video on the different types of granite. Why is Ubatuba different than? You can have all kinds of educational and communicative type things that will have people fall in love with you. So whether you're personality based or prospecting based, marketing is imperative for your business because you are a small business owner. Whether you're running a team or on a team, you need to understand that your marketing and your brand awareness and brand development and call to actions are all going to come through essentially in the end through marketing. You can prospect and communicate it that way. You can also simultaneously, when they look you up, repeat that or create marketing processes so they come to you. Now, why did I spend so much time on this? Because if you don't commit to understanding the importance of marketing, your real estate career moving forward, if this is not something you're willing to invest in, is actually in jeopardy. Gary Vaynerchuk, who's one of the leading social media gurus in the world. He gets hired by Fortune 500 companies. If they're lucky, they get him. Again, you go on the internet, there's so much free information, like Jeff Glover's podcast, right? We've got the Glover U podcast. We have never been in a time where so much information is readily available. But Gary Vaynerchuk will be out there talking, and he specifically said, if realtors do not get in the video game, they are going to be out of business. They're not going to be relevant. Remember, we all used to say, oh, those silly 20-year-olds. Well, those silly 20-year-olds are now 30-year-olds, and those 30-year-olds are about 35 right now. And what does that mean? Those are your buyers. Those are your buyers and sellers. Anyone under the age of 40 at this point, quite frankly, is completely and totally conditioned to purchase online and make decisions by what they find online first, and then they purchase. They're not talking to their neighbor. They're going online, making their own decision, because that's what Amazon has taught us. That's what reviews have taught us. That is social media. So you got to commit in your heart that this is important.
Yep.
That's why I'm here. So we'll get started. And what I like to do is a progression. Success is going to come through the progression, not perfection, but progression. So today what I want to do, and what I find a lot of realtors doing, is like, all right, cool, Greg. I just made a fun video and I put it out there. Is that social media? All right, well, what was your target market? What's your unique value proposition? What is your brand? What are you trying to communicate? What problems do you uniquely solve? And they're like, I have no idea what you just said. And of course, what I'm going to do today and the time that I have is try to communicate broadly where your mind and what activities in 2024 you should consider and you should kind of go deeper on, right? Obviously, I have the Marketing Mastery course, which is 16 hours of this, and we break it up into multiple topics. What I'm talking about today is the broader progression of how you can get all the way to using AI avatars to communicate your information. But we're going to start with the basics. So please pay attention. I don't care how veteran you are. I don't know how well you think you know your brand. I want you to take a moment and let's start with the beginning. So the first thing you need to do is, quite frankly, organize yourself. Whether you're a new agent or a veteran agent, you have to organize yourself in order to get, again, what we're trying to do when all is said and done is get listings. Okay. Buyers, what are they doing? They're going on Zillow. Buyers can go and search for homes, and then they'll reach out and say, I want to see this home at 3:00 tomorrow. Okay. They're searching out the product they want. A seller is searching out the service provider that they want, because it's different. They're actually out there looking for somebody to list their home. And when they do that, they want to understand, if you were trying to hire an attorney, if you were trying to hire an insurance agent or a financial planner, better example, financial planner, attorney, these are important decisions, and you want to understand the reviews. You want to understand their persona. You're going to go online and yes, you'll get testimonials and conversations from friends, but you're going to go online and do some research. So the first thing we want to do, so that's where listings are coming from. You will get listings where people say, hey, we're thinking about selling our house. We've been watching you for a while, and we'd like to talk to you about selling our house. Would you be available? This is something my team gets on a consistent basis. This does exist. And I say that because some realtors, I don't believe, think that exists. It absolutely does. You get a DM and they're like, on Instagram, we're thinking about selling our house. Are you available? We'd like to talk to you about it. Well, why did they do that? Because of a consistent content creation that I've put out there so they can understand my abilities, capabilities, my value, my persona, that am I likable? Am I a service provider they like, they trust, and they know? And so this is what we'll talk about. Number one, organize yourself. And it seems very basic, but we have to go there. You need to define what your brand is. And I won't spend a ton of time on this because, I've got plenty, I think of like on the YouTube channel, the Live on Real YouTube channel, the Glover U YouTube channel. I've got some videos back there talking about brand development. Brand is more than just a logo. So if you think, hey, I've got a logo and that's good enough, absolutely not. The logo should have some like you should be able to look at it and understand, okay, this is luxury. This is more of the consumer brand type realtor. This is somebody I'm going to have fun with. This is going to be like, I've got a team in my office called the Wild Side team. That's saying something a lot different than the art of real estate. Let's say there's just different things being communicated there. Glover Agency, the word, agency makes you understand that there's a group of professionals together that specialize in a certain thing. Every word, and when you think of your logo, there's a lot of conversation we can have around that, but it all is developed from your unique value proposition. There are millions of realtors out there, and I want you, um, I want you to, I want with your unique value proposition, I want you to define why you're different than everybody else in your brokerage. Why are you different than everybody else that's in the marketplace, and what makes you special? What are you uniquely equipped to solve? Right? Do you have a background in, let's say you're a teacher, then you have the ability to make people feel comfortable and understand the process. Let's talk about that. So that would be an example of a unique value proposition. That's something that defines you differently. So you want your unique value.
Hey, Greg, we're getting some feedback. I think your notes are touching the microphone. There we go.
All right, beautiful. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, Kelly Fry, and all you wonderful people. So you want your unique value proposition, you want your brand development, and then once you have those, and like I said, we spent an entire class on that. We want you to then take that information and start to communicate across multiple platforms. So one thing that I always recommend, and again, I'm going through like hours worth of stuff and just step by step. So unique value proposition, brand, and then are all your platforms created equally? Like, do they all look the same? Is there consistency across your Instagram, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your YouTube? You're like, wait a minute, Greg, I only work on Instagram. Okay, so you're doing what you like, but what I want you to do is do what your consumers like, right? Even though you don't like TikTok, there are consumers out there looking for realtors on TikTok. I'm not suggesting you spend 90% of your energy and effort on TikTok, but I'm saying don't ignore it. You have to be there to be valid. If you went and a new car company opened up in America tomorrow, and you want to go buy one of their cars, and you realize they had no social media channels, or they only had like a Facebook account, but they didn't have Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or any other resource, it would degrade the professionalism of that company. Again, you're the marketing department. So what I'm saying is all of these platforms, you should have some presence on. You can skip MySpace, that's fine, but you need to have all of them accounted for. So let's start with that and make sure they all look and feel the same. LinkedIn also being a very overlooked opportunity. Folks in corporate America many times are not allowed to have social media accounts except for LinkedIn. So you're missing an opportunity there if you kind of ignore that one. I know it doesn't get as much volume of user and traffic, but just a pro tip there. So get all of your platforms. You want to get organized. You want to go back and say, okay, now that I understand my brand unique value proposition and who I want to put myself out there as, is that what I'm seeing? If I go to your website today, if I go to your Facebook page right now, will I know that you're a realtor? Will I know that you're looking to hire realtors for your team? Will I know why you're better than the other realtor? If the answer is no, you have work to do. You want to take out some of the content that may be degrading your professionalism. Oh, I want to be a luxury realtor. All right. Do all of your posts suggest that that is something that you actually handle? I specialize in condos, but why am I looking at a farm? Or, and again, we can talk about your target. And that's really what we talk about in Marketing Mastery. We start to identify each and every individual's business plan and their strategy, but you should have one for that. Again, I don't want to spend too much time on this because this is the foundational stuff, but you need to have the foundation squared away before you start creating content.
Greg, one of the questions in the chat, personal versus business. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I love that question. I really do. I think I've been able to find a way to articulate it the best way possible. But when we watch TV, maybe old school TV, not so much the streaming services of today, but when we watch TV, sitcoms, things like that, they would have to earn the right for you to watch a commercial, right? So I'm not watching your show unless it's good enough. And then if you throw in a commercial break, I'm willing to watch the commercial break because you've earned the right for me to continue watching. And so what I recommend is, you got to have the personal stuff, and then you can throw in your commercial break, and then more personal stuff. And when I say personal stuff, hopefully it's entertaining stuff. I don't want to see a picture of your bloody knee that you just got scabbed up. No one wants to see that. I'm sorry, I love you if you just did that, but stop. So, be entertaining, be fun, be caring, be kind, whatever your brand is. If you're a caring person, if you care about your clients, then complaining about politics is not, it's out of alignment with what you're trying to communicate. I always say, like, LeBron James looks at a basketball much differently than I do, right? I look at a basketball as a toy that you use in a playground. He looks at it as something that he can make millions and millions of dollars with. It is a tool. You are a realtor, you are a business owner. Social media is your marketing department. It is free. It is the most exciting opportunity that you have at your fingertips. It is a tool to get business. And so new agents sometimes struggle with this when they go through the auditing process of getting themselves organized. They're unwilling to let go of some of those really fun posts when they were in college and did the keg stand. But they need to get rid of those because now it's a tool. Now it's something that you're representing your brand and your professionalism and your ability to just be a kind, caring person. Whatever it is your brand is, you need to communicate that in all of the communications, the posts, the scripts, everything that you're doing needs to be easily understood within seconds because we're dealing in the currency of attention these days. For example, you know it's coming, Joe. Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast deals in the currency of attention, meaning he would rather have 1 million subscribers than $1 million. How many of us can say that, right? Would you rather have 1 million subscribers or $1 million? Believe it or not, the right answer is 1 million subscribers because you can monetize that ongoing for years to come. And that is what we're dealing with. And why is that? Because everybody's trying to grab your attention right now. We need to get in that game, even just a little bit, even as a nano influencer. I'm not saying be a macro influencer or, like Mr. Beast, but just like when business colleges follow the Fortune 500 companies, we should be following the top influencers because in the marketing department, that's what we're trying to be. Because why? Because they have everyone's attention. Mr. Beast will get more attention on his next video than the Super Bowl will this year. Okay, regardless of who's playing. Mr. Beast's next video, all he has to do is, like throw a Lamborghini into a chopping block and he'll get more viewership than the Super Bowl. So attention is what we're looking for. And how are we going to get that attention? So let's talk about creating content creation. First thing you want to do, and this is where a lot of people get lost, when they start creating their content, they know who they are, they know who they're targeting, they feel comfortable with that. They don't know how to start creating good quality content. It's like they sit there, they're like, okay, I got my camera, I got lighting, now what? What do I talk about? And what you want to do, I believe, and this is what top social influencers talk about, is creating content funnels. You need about 3 content funnels. What are the 3 areas generally that you're going to stay in moving forward so that the consumer isn't lost? If I go to HGTV and there's an entire episode on the making of BMWs, I'm completely confused. And I probably won't go back to HGTV again because the channel lost me. It's confusing. I never know what's going to be there. It's a mishmash of things. And there's been different channels that have tried to do that before where it was like, we're just a public channel and random stuff's on all their time. It doesn't work. Just like your social media following and influence is not going to work if you don't stay in specific categories. So for myself, I stay in the landlord pillar, landlord Greg. So there's this whole thing on like I fix things and I drive an Astra minivan and it's authentically who I really am. I'd rather be wearing a black hoodie and jeans right now, but Jeff won't let me. And then, that's landlord Greg. The next content funnel I have, of course, is I'm a realtor. I am a top realtor in the state of Ohio, and that is what I want the world to know. And then finally, I'm a real estate coach. I do speaking engagements. I help train and grow others. It's part of my passion. I'd almost say philanthropy if Jeff wouldn't pay me so well. And so it can't be. It's just, that's how I got the fancy suit. He's like, dude, you need more money, so go buy a nice suit. Anyway, those are my content funnels. Okay, it's not about my funnels though. When I said those, what are your content funnels? Where are 3 areas that you can derive enough content and you can live in those contents ongoing? So when people go to your channel, they know generally what they're going to find. Okay.
With real estate agents, that's going to be either, on the buy side, actively showing houses, actively hosting open houses, the stuff that you send to your friends on Snapchat because it's crazy stuff you saw in a house that actually should be going on your Instagram and Facebook story. That edgy content, that content creation is what people actually want to see. And so for on the listing side, it might be going out and every now and again showing a contract signed or showing negotiations taking place or a closing or a testimonial. Your content on the real estate agent side, of course, Greg gave landlord and on the coach side, but on the real estate agent side, it's your buyer and seller. It's content with your buyer and sellers. On the buy side, home inspections, right? Appraisals. What do you do at an appraisal? I mean, there's so many things that take place in a real estate transaction that you can grab content from.
Beautiful. Yeah. Luxury listings, how-to videos, frequently asked questions, so now what, on my very first video, where does it come from? Everybody probably had a client in the last week. What questions were you asked? Write every single question down that your clients ask you. It's quite frankly the easiest way to come up with content. And then from that, so for example, as a real estate coach, you just asked me, it's the number one question that I hear. Do I do personal stuff? Do I have a business page? Do I just stay all commercials and all business, or do I mix it together? Right there was a question you asked me. That's a short form video. That is something I can put that out for me. Why? Because it's in one of my content funnels, and people expect to find that type of content on my channels and my social media. Another great way is, which you guys might have heard before, answerthepublic.com. Answerthepublic.com will, if your clients aren't asking you great questions and you're not engaged that much with your clientele, or they're not asking these questions, number one, prospect and get some clients so you can get some questions so you can answer the questions and make short form video. But you can also go to answerthepublic.com. It's a great tool. It has a lot of, I would say the questions your client asks you are going to be more effective, but Answer the Public will give you a laundry list of multiple questions that you can ask. The other thing that you want to do when you're creating content is you want to be educational and informational, infotainment, informational, but also entertaining. One of the things, entertaining, motivating, inspiring, something that people want to follow. Give them that everybody's addicted to social media. Why? Because we're getting what we want. We talk fast. We get to the point. We're going to give them something of informational. These are like hacks, right? How many times do you see you're scrolling through and it's like 5 great cooking hacks or tool hacks or what have you? Why does that capture? Why is that effective? Because you're getting something educational based, and hopefully they're doing it in an entertaining way.
Yeah.
And that dopamine hit is coming every time we get something that we enjoy. We as content creators, instead of consumers, the creation, when we're creating, we want to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
We do want to be entertaining as we deliver this information.
There's something that you said there that we're going to have a session on at the summit coming up in Phoenix next month. I know a lot of you are joining us, and it's a new session in the Marketing Mastery program, and that is how to be more entertaining. Because here's what we know: you can have the best data, you can have the best stats, you can have the best content, you can have the best ideas, you can have the best creativity, but if you're not delivering it in an entertaining way, it kind of sounds, I'm going to say something that might sound whatever, but Greg, I know you'll agree with this. If you want to win, hear me loud and clear on this. If you want to win on social media, you need to be an entertainer that just happens to sell real estate. Yeah. I mean, I'm talking, you want to win big. You want to be number one in your town, number one in your market. You need to be an entertainer that just happens to sell real estate. And I know for a lot of you, you're saying, well, guess I'm not going to be big on social media because I'm not an entertainer. Not yet, but you will be. This is going to be a big topic for us at the Phoenix Summit. And I know, Greg, it's an entire session that just got added to your Marketing Mastery program, how to be an entertaining person. Because the people that get the most engagement, the people that get the most likes, the people that get the most comments, the people that get the most leads are the ones that are the most entertaining.
True story. Yeah. And that leads to another great tip from one of the top social media masters is what you want to do is become 2 times your ego. And what does that mean? That means if you normally speak, let's see, I can't even do it, but because I'm a high energy guy to begin with.
Become 2 times your ego. I love that.
Yeah. 2 times your alter ego. So what that means is you're basically acting in a way, but there's 2 ways I can say, come check out this house. Hey, everybody, come check out this house. Or I can say, hey guys, come check out this house. This one you don't want to miss.
Yes.
That seems really weird, but on video, and maybe it just was weird and I apologize, I'm okay with that because I'm that determined to win in real estate and win in the social media game. Okay. So I'm willing because my world depends on it, right? Be committed to this, because if you are committed to this, you are going to win. Yeah. Even in this moment right now as a coach, did you feel my energy? Did you feel me motivate? I'm really tired right now. Jeff just sent me to Minneapolis. I flew in late last night. Here I am. But you're not feeling that, right? Because I'm 2 times my alter ego. And I hope you guys are enjoying that and having fun with it. That's the kind of mindset you want to have when you're creating good quality content. The final thing I want to do when it says, when we say, where do we get content from? You can be the DJ of other people's content. So when NAR sends out statistics, throw the green screen effect behind you and simply talk about what it means locally. Market statistics. Jeff has an incredible strategy as far as one video per week, and one of those videos that you would do is market statistics. Everybody wants to know how's the market. It's the number one question we're asked once you get past the lawsuit question lately, right? The number one question we're asked is, how's the real estate market? Answerthequestion.com, right? Answer the question. And so be the DJ of other people's content. If there's a new development going in your local neighborhood, be the first one to talk about it. Hey, Bucky Kopf just bought another 20 acres worth of land. They're going to put in both single family homes as well as townhomes. Really excited. I think it's going to increase the tax base for the city, blah, 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 right? Do you see how quickly I just created content? So finding content is absolutely imperative. The next part of it, once you determine what you are going to communicate,
and just to put a bow on that, Greg, sorry, it's okay to be a little goofy, right? Like, this whole I don't want to be embarrassed though. Trust me, you might feel embarrassing. Watch this. All right, I'm gonna make another statement here that Greg, I know you're gonna agree with. The more embarrassed you feel, the more entertaining you are. The more embarrassed you feel, the more entertaining you are. The more embarrassing of the feeling you have, the more productive your content will be. Watch. Just trust me on that one.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Greg. Sorry.
And I even have that in here. If you're not taking risks in public and being bold, then you're probably not going to make it. So have you ever seen somebody walking through, say, a mall or maybe a baseball game, like you're at a Detroit Tigers game? Take your camera out, kind of go, selfie mode, walk through and just talk about what you love about it. Now, people are going to turn their heads and be looking at you. In the moment, it's very uncomfortable, but that is a very bold, and guess what? It's entertaining to the viewers that are consuming the content you're creating. So definitely be bold, definitely get out there and create an energy. And it's not going to work though if you don't stay consistent. So you can have one great video, but you want to start to create a theme and consistency. If all of a sudden I turned at HGTV and they decided to turn themselves off for 2 weeks, and then maybe they'll come back on for a week, and then maybe they'll turn themselves off for a month. That's what you're doing to people. If you don't stay consistent with your content distribution, you're in trouble. So what happens is people do a couple good videos, but then they don't time block, and they're trying to do one video a day. One of the best techniques and tricks out there is to bulk record. You want to film for, let's say, 2 hours straight, and you want to do 5 short form videos that you can then launch and schedule out on a daily basis. Don't try to do a different video every day. Simply sit in the studio. For example, right now I put this composition together. I'm in my Toledo office. This isn't even our studio, but I understand the importance of having a good composition, Jeff. It's not okay to just have a banner hanging behind you with lighting and bouncing off and a hand marker and
a reflective whiteboard. Listing mastery was over a month ago. I walked in, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to Windex that up.
Yeah. Oh, sure. You forgot because you want everyone in listing mastery, not marketing mastery. No, but no, you want the composition. You want to put that together. Because this is a part of my brand. Why am I wearing a suit? Not because Jeff told me, but because it is part of my brand development. I like how look at that. I just made the boss man work. I love that. So you want to bulk record. So creating. So number one is organize yourself, audit. Number two is content. How do I get content? Hopefully we've covered enough there to where you can actually identify and get ideas. Now you're saying, Greg, how do I start creating this content? And bulk recording is one of the best ways to do it. When you bulk record, you can make this setup, or you can kind of put yourself. It doesn't have to be too professional. Remember, progress, not perfection. In fact, right now, just going taco style, as Jeff has come up with a new term called taco. There's hot dog and hamburger. Well, now there's taco, and taco is when you hold the camera like this, right? A taco, you eat it side, you can't eat it like this, and you wouldn't eat it like this, right? So it's taco style, and that's how you're going to use your camera as you walk through, let's say, the Detroit Tigers game. Okay, that's taco style, and it's very raw, and you may not even be in a suit. However, you want to be careful a little bit, but you still want to stay in brand. We talk a lot more about how you can look at Jeff's selfie mode.
Taco style.
Mode there. All right.
Just tilt it a little to the right or a little left. That's taco style.
Raw, unprofessional footage with bad audio, and well, audio always has to be clear. Quite frankly, that's the number one reason people will actually stop like listening to anything you're saying is audio. In fact, that's why I did it with the paper. That was a test. I just wanted to test you guys. Did you see how annoying that was? Doesn't matter how good my composition is. If you can't hear me, I'm done. I'm done with you. And when I do this, that's the scroll. Remember, we're trying to stop the scroll, not accelerate the scroll. So audio is still important, but you can have a raw outfit. You can go natural. You just got to start putting content out there. Matt Marsupian, we have that good example of him. We just showed it in Minneapolis. He just did his very first selfie in front of a house. And literally he was like, I don't know if I can do it here. I know. He was like this. He's like, hey guys. I'm at 221, and it still didn't matter, right? Because he was still there. He was still putting out content, and that's what I want you guys to at least try to do. One of the first homework assignments of Marketing Mastery that we have is create a bad video. You will never have a great video until you create a bad video, and then you can continue to improve it as time goes on. So creating, you'll want to get your we kind of go over all the lighting, the microphone, the editing software, etc. Some of the quick tips that I would give, there's $20 lapel microphones that you can use. They plug right into your iPhone or Android, not a big deal. That's sound. Lighting, simply face
and
a
it doesn't
window.
need to be hidden. The microphone does not need to be hidden, right?
Great point. Great point. Does not need to be hidden. Everybody expects to see a box or it doesn't matter. Lighting. The easiest way to get good lighting is stand in front of a window and have the window light on your face. Don't stand opposite. Obviously that doesn't work. So you don't even have to buy a light, but the lights are so cheap right now. I mean, we are talking for $40, you can have a microphone and just one of these. I mean, the one beautiful thing about China is they're pumping out a lot of cheap stuff for us. So for $40, you got a light, a microphone, and now we want editing software. Quite frankly, the best solution that I found at this point is CapCut.com, C-A-P-C-U-T, CapCut.com. It's what most realtors are using. And what it does, it allows you to throw for free captioning underneath as you're talking. You simply hit a button and you see these realtors or you see these short form videos where the captioning's there. Why is captioning so important? It's imperative. Why? Because most people, including right now potentially, are on their phones and they don't want the audio on because they're hopefully listening to me and my inflection of my voice so I can kind of make you interested and keep your attention. See, I made 3 people look up at their monitor right now. And so they're not listening to their phone, so they have to be able to read what you're saying. And then that would earn the right for them to wait. Let me go back and actually hear what he's saying, because some of this looks like it might be interesting for me to actually listen to. CapCut.com. It's a downloadable app, very, very simple, and it actually allows you to kind of chop it up and create good quality information. One of the best pro tips, quite frankly, is go on YouTube if you want to know how to learn CapCut. There's great tutorials. Everything's free out there. You can, quite frankly, watch some folks, and now you've got editing software, lighting, microphone. That's how you get started for under $40, right? But that's how you want to start creating it. So you're organized yourself. You know what content you want to provide. You know the equipment that you need. And then finally, what we want to do is, how do you create the following? How do you create fanatics that are excited about your brand? And I'm just gonna leave you with this. How much time do I have? I think I'm out.
You're good. A minute or two.
Okay, a minute or two. What I'm going to leave you with is, and this is really where we want to be. We want to fill up our database, but in the social media world, what is that? That's subscribership. That's following. You want to be unapologetic. You can follow my YouTube channel at GregErlanger.com. You can go to Glover U, find their YouTube channel. Go on my Instagram. Please follow me. I was just unapologetic asking you to follow me. Why? Because I want a bigger database. So at my next event, I can post it in front of you. You can see it. Just like at your next listing, you want to have thousands of followers. You want subscribers following you. That is your influence. That is the monetary basis that of why Mr. Beast wants subscribership and followers more than he wants money. Just like you as a realtor would love to have a twice the size of database. That social media database is what we're looking for. In order to get that, you want to create fanatics, people that are excited about your brand, excited about the information and the energy that you bring to the table every time they scroll through and find you, versus the other realtors with their 2D Canva post and their picture. You see what I'm saying? So that's the ultimate goal. If you want to get more listings,
Canva is dead. Canva is dying if it's not dead. All right. Don't overuse Canva.
And in general, photos are struggling. Videos where it's at. So by creating all of these things, I'll tie it all up with this. Sellers are going online. They're looking for somebody they know, like, and trust. If they don't know you, they won't work with you. If the video isn't communicating trust and likability, they're not going to work with you. If you get all three of those things, you'll start to get those inbound leads and get more listings and stop the scroll, get more listings this year than you have in the past. And it absolutely does work. And I hope you guys will implement just some of the things and ideas that we've talked about today.
Awesome. So Greg, you have a 16-week program. Obviously you're busy leading your team. You're busy fixing and hanging on to houses and renting them out. You're busy coaching real estate agents. And because you have studied and implemented social media video marketing at a very high level, and because that's something that we understand at a high level, when I say we, I'm talking about the Glover Agency here in Michigan, we've kind of merged our thoughts. I still think back to our dinner that we spent like 4 hours at the Chop House in Toledo. It was a great dinner. We got this private room. If you can picture, the whole wall was glass surrounding us. And there was not, like, you could not see in. If you were out in the restaurant, they would wonder like what we were trying to hide in that room, because it was plastered with just pieces of 3M Post-it paper from all the ideas and everything that we were sharing. Well, what came out of that?
It was almost like a guy from Cleveland and a guy from Detroit went to a bougie restaurant and showed them how we live, right? So anyway, sorry.
Right.
We dumbed it down a little bit.
What came out of that was actually 16 weeks. We organized and we structured, okay, we got to start with helping agents understand their brand and what they need to change about their brand and why branding is important. Then we have to talk about, right, we basically went in chronological order all the way to like mass advertising. All right, when you're ready for bus benches and billboards and TV and radio, now what does that look like? And what is the structure of a radio ad? What is the structure of a TV ad? And so anyways, we put it together in 16 weeks, and it's called Marketing Mastery. And, the nice thing about Marketing Mastery, and although all the other programs get updated kind of semi-regularly, probably every 2 years, your program has to get updated every single time we run it. Why? Because things change in the space. Things change with YouTube. Things change with Facebook. Things change with Instagram. So, not that we ever taught agents how to use Canva, but let's just say if we rolled out Marketing Mastery 5 years ago, that might have been one of the sessions. All right. Now, of course, we discourage agents from using it. So the point is that if you've taken Marketing Mastery before, you're probably due for an update, number one. And if you haven't, and you have no idea what Marketing Mastery is, there you see it on the flyer. You can text the word marketing to 55444, and you'll get all the details on the program. It's 16 weeks. You're working with the marketing master himself, Greg, for 1 hour a week. Now, it's 45 minutes of content, Greg, and 15 minutes of Q&A. Right? They get to ask questions and engage, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And we keep the group to, I believe we keep it to under 75 people. That way everyone has a chance to raise their hand and ask questions. I mean, we want to make sure it's an interactive experience. It's not a presentation. It's training, it's group coaching with the ability to ask questions. And when I think about your Facebook group, there's tons of engagement going back and forth of, hey, what do you think of this idea, Greg? And people sharing all their ideas. And it's really cool to see the engagement that you have with that group. I'm sorry, I'll let you keep talking. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I would say 75% of the content has been updated from the very first one 3 years ago, the Marketing Mastery course that we launched the 3 years ago, 75%. And then I would also say this, a really special shout out to my last Marketing Mastery crew. We had so much fun. I had really, really good influencers out there, 30,000 subscribers, different. I mean, there were some really good folks. Now, by the way, I also had brand new agents, and it's such a blessing to like watch them go from I'm scared of the camera to having a full-blown YouTube channel with videos and a progression that is actually winning for them right now. So whether you are brand new and you don't know anything about it, this class is absolutely for you. And if you're a veteran, the mastermind and the Q&A and the Marketing Mastery Facebook private group has so much quality content, and the folks that have been in the class before can still utilize that Facebook group.
Yeah,
so
that's what's kind of cool.
A community that's pretty unique.
Yeah, if you were like, let's just say you join this particular Marketing Mastery group, you don't get kicked out of the group afterwards. You get to stay in there. I mean, there's referrals going back and forth. There's people who are learning some new things, even though they took it 2 years ago when it first rolled out, or 3 years ago when it first rolled out. And so there's a lot of benefits other than just that 1 hour a week Zoom with Greg. So it is 16 weeks. And it's everything. You see what's included there. I mean, you cover everything from internet leads to YouTube to Instagram to
now we're doing AI. Yeah, now it's all the way up to AI. So yeah, you won't leave our class without a YouTube channel and without the understanding of how AI is going to benefit you, whether content creation or literally creating an artificial avatar of yourself for training your team or what have you. It's quite incredible where that's going. So being cutting edge. My favorite part about all of that, I think, is it gives a safe place for you to create video content and send it to your peers, and they can all help you grow and say, okay, Greg, you're rattling, your microphone's trash because you're throwing your paper in there, or you said way too many times, right? That type of feedback you want to have in a safe space before you go live.
A couple questions in the chat. Or when does it start? It starts the first week of February, so February the 5th. That the week of the 5th. Is your class on Tuesday? Your class is on Tuesdays, Greg? What day is it? It's on Tuesdays at what time?
Tuesdays, 2 o'clock.
2 Eastern. All right, Tuesdays at 2 Eastern. So the first one will be Tuesday, the 6th of February at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you just text the word marketing to 55444, that'll get you all the details, and you'll get to spend 16 weeks with Greg. And Greg, if you didn't make a note of it, I know we already talked about it, but it's absolutely, I'm excited to help you write the one on becoming more of an entertainer. We're going to talk a lot about that at the summit. We're going to have some sessions specifically on how to be a better entertainer, because really, if you want to win on social media, you got to figure out a way to be entertaining first, even if you're not naturally an entertaining person. And I have firsthand experience of how, and I still think I have a long way to go on how to be more entertaining, because I was the dry and direct to the point, and now I figured out how to have fun with it and how to embrace some of the embarrassing feelings that come along with being entertaining.
Yeah.
All right. So join Greg, 16 weeks starting February the 6th. Text the word marketing to 55444. And regardless, you heard us mention a few times this summit coming up in Phoenix. All right. So before we end today, Greg's going to give you a little special coupon. I heard you're taking a little bit of money out of your wallet for everybody, Greg. So what is this summit thing that we're doing in Phoenix? Check it out. I'm going to have them play a 90-second video. When we come back, we're going to send you off with a couple more announcements. So here's what we're going to be doing January in Phoenix. Check it out.
Nice.
If you want to go from X to 2X, you have to make a change in your business. If you want to go from X to 5X or even 10X, you need to make a change in your life, and you need to start now. There's a reason why top producers are always getting to the best real estate conferences.
I've been to many conferences throughout my 12-year career, and this is one of the best I've ever attended.
If you want to be a millionaire, you have to hang around millionaires.
They're selling real estate at a high level, they're very successful, and these are definitely the people you want to be around.
So this is an opportunity for you to get out of your everyday environment and hang around people who are where you want to be.
Not only are they coaching it, but these guys are doing it.
The reality is that only 10% of real estate agents survive in this business, and even fewer thrive. Why should you follow me and come to our Live Unreal Summit? Because I'm in the trenches with you, taking listings, going on appointments, and selling homes. I know what it takes to go from X to an unreal life, and it is my personal mission to take you there. No other real estate coach in North America sells as much as I do.
The exponential growth that I've seen since I started with Glover U has been incredible.
And we'll be sharing the lead generation, the lead conversion, social media, listing, buyer, and database value propositions, digital marketing, video, and so much more.
The intimate setting of just top agents from all over. We are definitely Glover lovers.
You'll hear from over 30 top agents from across North America. As main stage panelists, we'll have breakout sessions, masterminds, one-on-one interviews, and we get to have some fun too. You can stay and enjoy everything the Sheraton Grand Wild Horse Pass has to offer. Between golf, the pool, spa, kayaking, everything's on site. Bring your team in early and take advantage of the Sunday Fun Day activities and all that the resort has to offer. Your future in this business rests on the commitments you make today. So what are you waiting for? We'll see you this January. All right, so if you go to the very last page in your workbook, the second to last page in your workbook, if you use code GREG100, because you showed up today, we're all giving you $100 off your ticket to that event. And that event this isn't like a $2,000 event and you're getting a little $100 coupon. $100 off, by the way, is like 20% because the ticket price is $500, $499. So you're getting the price for $399 thanks to Greg. He's helping you out with that since you joined us.
Money coming here. I got money.
So use code GREG100. I know a lot of you guys are already planning on joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you in January. We're talking building a massive listing inventory, preparing everyone for this new market, which we're so excited to perform in this new market. Man, there's so much opportunity out there, especially as it relates to social media and video. So if we don't see you in Greg's class, we better see you this January in Phoenix, Arizona. No better time to get down there January 15th to start the year off strong. Go to gloveru.com/summit. That's gloveru.com/summit. There we go, Johnny. I love that. And use code GREG100 to take money out of Greg's pocket and put it back in yours. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week for another two. We got two great sessions coming up next week. One with Nick Belmore and one with Taylor Kerrigan. Go to gloveru.com/webinar to get signed up for next week's sessions. Have a good weekend, everyone, and kick butt today. See you guys.